Brothers and sisters, good evening. Let me thank everyone for heeding to my call to share in the sacrifices as we battle against the elusive COVID-19 enemy. I am aware of the pain and inconvenience you have endured because of the necessary public health measures we have had in place to reduce the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Late last week, we sadly learned that more Saint Lucians had been infected by the more infectious and deadly Delta variant, which had been detected in country earlier this year. This has certainly created more challenges for our country and for other countries having to deal with that Delta variant said to be more contagious and deadly. I am aware that many businesses continue to be affected negatively, as well as the livelihoods of several citizens because of early closures of businesses and in some cases, permanent closure. I want to reassure you of my government's concern and commitments to provide support to those seriously affected. Help is on its way. Notwithstanding the many challenges and sacrifices we have endured, the patterns of spread and transmission of the COVID-19 virus have become clearer in Saint Lucia. The Chief Medical Officer has advised me that the various metrics for monitoring the spread and infection rates of the COVID-19 virus indicates that the number of persons infected and getting seriously ill is decreasing. This is encouraging news. Nevertheless, I remain saddened by the number of families who have lost their loved ones directly or indirectly because of COVID. My deepest condolences and sympathies go out to those families. The emergence of encouraging patterns in the spread and transmission of the COVID-19 virus is coming at a time when the state of emergency will end on October 16, 2021. However, we still need to maintain the necessary protocols and restrictions as part of the national efforts towards prevention and control, which the Honorable Minister of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Baptiste, will outline later. I want once more to take the opportunity to thank the doctors, the nurses and first responders and other medical support staff workers for their hard work and commitment in this COVID-19 battle. Your work has been invaluable. While we have kept count of the citizens who have perished, many lives have been saved because of the dedication and hard work of these health workers in the front line of the COVID-19 battle. I am aware that, and the science validates, that the restriction of the movement of people help reduce the spread of the virus. However, these restrictions come with great personal challenges as we strive to find the right balance between securing some level of normality in our daily lives and fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 virus looks like it will be with us for the foreseeable future, and we must therefore commence the process of living with that reality while taking the necessary measures to avoid a dysfunctional society. The restrictions to businesses opening hours, particularly where citizens meet for socializing, will need to be maintained to assist in reducing the opportunities for the spread of the virus. On October 16, the state of emergency will end and will not be reinstated. The Cabinet of Ministers has agreed to adopt the COVID-19 Prevention Control Act to invoke adjusted protocols and restrictions that are necessary to reduce the spread of the COVID-19 virus. These adjusted measures will come into effect from October 16, 2021 until November 1, 2021 in the first instance. Let me assure you that as soon as the rate of infections reduce to a relatively safe level, the restrictions will be relaxed. I take no pleasure in announcing that for the time being, you'll have to undergo continued restrictions in your movements because these are still necessary to control the spread of the virus. I empathize with you as you continue to live with the many inconveniences brought on by this global COVID-19 virus. I believe that the majority of Saint Lucians have done well in observing the protocols, and I want to thank you for your endurance. We cannot give up. We must keep observing the protocols and keep calling on each other to do the same. The battle we are fighting requires a collective effort on the part of everyone. This is not a government problem, it's a country problem and requires the input of all citizens. I am entrusting every citizen to do the right thing by observing the protocols and the measures that the government has been advised to put in place by the medical professionals to win this COVID-19 battle. While this is a collective effort, I call on every citizen to accept personal responsibility for fighting this COVID-19 battle. Like I did in my last address, I call on everyone to get vaccinated. Vaccination remains our only weapon to fight off the worst effects of the COVID-19 virus. The worldwide data in support of vaccination remains overwhelming. Again, the signs of an uptick in vaccinations on our island are encouraging. Let us press on. If the number of citizens being vaccinated continues to increase and infections reduce, we shall be able to return to our normal lives sooner rather than later. I believe in the people of Saint Lucia and trust that we will be patient and understand that the inconvenience that we may feel today will benefit us all in the future. I now hand over to the Minister of Health, Honorable Baptiste, to announce the new protocols. I thank you and may God bless you.
Fellow St. Lucians, greetings. St. Lucia, like the rest of the Caribbean, continues to manage and battle this COVID-19 pandemic. The government of St. Lucia recognizes the efforts of all who are adhering to the COVID-19 protocols. We acknowledge the sacrifices that everyone has had to make over the last few weeks to prioritize health and safety. We acknowledge the difficult economic situation we have had to manage as we reduce the negative impacts of COVID-19. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs monitors closely the progress of the fourth wave in our country. From July 25th to October 10th, we note 6,475 cases at an average of 84 cases per day. 50% are in the age group 25 to 49 years. 57% of the cases are female. The majority of the cases are from Castries, Grosile, Vieux-Fort, and Babouneau. The daily infection rate for the past week was 22.1 per 100,000 per day, which is a 68% decrease from the previous week. We also note a steady decline in the rate of transmission. Sadly though, during that period, we noted 133 COVID-19 deaths with a case fatality rate of 2.1%. Males account for 56% of the deaths. The average age of the deaths is 66 years. At present, we have 723 active cases in our country. I wish to express my sincere condolences to all families who are affected during this difficult time. At this time, we note the reductions in the transmission rate. We note the reductions in the hospitalization rates. We note the reductions in the positivity rates. We note the reductions in the prevalence rates, which indicates to us that we may have some resolution in November 2021 if the public health measures are maintained by the general public. We continue to prioritize the immunization program in Saint Lucia, and we note an increase in the uptake of vaccines over the last few weeks. 20% of the population is now fully vaccinated, and 26% has received the first dose. A total of 48,222 persons receiving the first dose of vaccines, and 36,575 individuals the second dose of the vaccines. We note an overall reduction in the transmission rate, but we are still at a critical phase, and we cannot let our guard down. We cannot slow down in our efforts to follow the protocols, and we cannot become complacent. After discussions and dialogue with the COVID-19 Management Center, the decision was made to extend the COVID-19 protocols that are currently in place until the end of October. The extended protocols shall commence on Saturday, October 16, 2021, and end on Thursday, October 30th, 2021. The adjusted protocols are as follows. 1. Confinement to residence on weekends will be in effect from Monday to Friday from 7 p.m. and ends at 4 a.m. Saturday confinement starts at 7 p.m. and ends on Monday at 4 a.m. This means that there will be a 24-hour confinement on Sundays. 2. A person may attend a religious ceremony on Sundays during confinement, but must return to his or her residence by 1 p.m. on that day. In other words, you can attend services on Sunday, but must return home by 1 p.m. 3. A person shall not host or attend a mass crowd event, a social event, except with 10 or less persons of his or her immediate family or household. 4. Religious ceremonies are allowed based on the square footage of the organization in keeping with approved COVID-19 response plan. Special religious rites, including weddings, baptisms, and funerals, are permitted with 50 or less persons. 5. Suspension of the sale and disposal of intoxicating liquor at bars, rum shops, and grab-and-go restaurants. The Prime Minister has indicated that all of these establishments will be supported with an economic package very soon. 6. The sale and disposal of intoxicating liquor from a supermarket, gas station, or wholesaler, and approved dine-in service restaurants with a valid liquor license will be permitted. 7. Dine-in services at approved restaurants and food establishments only, takeaway, grab-and-go, and delivery services will be permitted at other establishments. 8. Recreational and social activities at hotels will be permitted on property during the restriction hours, provided that such activities take place on property. Water sports and other water-related activities, such as boat rides, skiing, etc., must be suspended during the 24-hour weekend restrictions from Saturday 7 p.m. to Monday 4 a.m. 9. An educational institution may open for face-to-face engagement to facilitate structured supervision from October 18, 2021 for Grade K, Grade 6, Form 4, Form 5, and the special education schools. The Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology, and Vocational Training will communicate confirmed dates to the public. All other classes shall continue to use distributed learning. During this period, the government of Saint Lucia will meet with stakeholders and the newly reconstituted COVID-19 Management Center to review the COVID-19 situation and provide a further update on the protocols. Let us all continue adhering to the protocols to reduce transmission of the COVID-19 virus and return to some level of normalcy. I thank you very much.